Hello, my friends in the Law of Attraction Key community. I am so excited to have you here. And let's talk about something right now that a lot of you are really hung up on, and I get it because nobody likes this, and it's feeling badly. When you feel bad about anything that's going on in your life, here's what I want you to realize. It is not that everything is terrible, it's just that in your feeling badly, it is a reminder that you're out of alignment with what you do want. Does that make sense? So if you're feeling like full of struggle, or I don't know, this just doesn't feel right, that is an opportunity for you. All that means is that you've gotten out of alignment and you're focused on what you don't want. And you're giving it tons of focus. And that's really easy to do. So I just want to remind you that when you're feeling badly, if you can go, you know what? Right, this is an opportunity for me to start to shift my focus back to what I do want. What is it that I want? What is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I want to feel? And just in simply asking yourself that, you start to shift your focus. You know, you hear Abraham Hicks talk about this, where they talk about paddling your boat upstream. And we paddle and we paddle and we paddle and we're working so hard and it feels so bad. And if we would just let go of all the struggle and the paddling, the boat would flip right around and go right downstream and start to put you in the flow and feeling harmonious with the things you desire. Now that's a scary thing to do, because what does it feel like when you're paddling upstream? It feels like you have to keep paddling in order to stay alive. So I'm asking you, just, you can try it, and you'll even feel throughout the whole thing, throughout the slight adjustments of your boat starting to shift downstream, you'll get evidence that this is working. When you are willing to take the paddle out of the water for just a second and stop pushing so hard, you'll feel it, and something, sure enough, will show up to give you some proof that, hey, this is starting to get a little easier. I'm still terrified, that's okay, but it's starting to get a little easier. So it's just a reminder, anytime you feel badly, oh, I'm paddling upstream. How can I let go of the oar just a little bit, just to see? You don't need to just, it would be great, and sometimes we hit those moments. You'll probably think about some times in your life where you have just gone, you know what, forget it, I can't paddle anymore. You get exhausted. And then what happens? Sure enough, typically you spin around and things start working out right. And you're like, well, why wasn't this happening before? It's because you were fighting it. You were in alignment with what you didn't want. You were focused on what you didn't want. Let me give you a great example of a coaching session that I just had a couple of days ago with one of my one-on-one clients, because this was a perfect depiction of what I'm talking about. So we got on the phone and he started to share with me how this one of his business people that he works with had cut back their budget, so they weren't going to be spending as much money with them every month, and this is someone that they really rely on for that revenue. And you could hear it. I mean, he was just in great angst, understandably. This is something that we look at and we go, my survival is at stake. So as we were talking about it, all he could talk about was, filling that hole, and I was trying to bring up suggestions. What's something you could do to start to generate new revenue right now? And the only way he could look at it was in terms of filling the gap. Filling the gap that was left by this one guy pulling some of his money. And I finally said, look, as long as you're looking at it as filling the gap, you're not looking at it as an opportunity of how can I generate more money from a different channel. You're still looking at it, the problem. You're still focused on the hole that is left by that guy. So instead, let's make it a game. Anytime you can make things feel fun, even despite the fact that you feel like your survival is the thing that is on the line, anytime you can make things fun and give yourself just a little game, even if it's for 5 minutes of time, and then you can get back to your panic living, that's fine. What happens is you really start to shift. So I said, what's just one thing? Forget him. Forget that just for 5 minutes, and let's go through this exercise. What is one thing that you've been thinking of doing and that could generate different revenue from a different channel that sounds exciting to you? And the second I said that sounds exciting to you, he said, oh, well, I did have someone approach me with this idea where they would work commission only and they would approach these leads in this way. And he started talking about it, and suddenly you could tell he completely forgot about the guy that had cut his spending, and all he was focused on was this cool idea. And so his vibration started to get higher and higher and higher and higher, and he was so excited, and he was talking about it. And suddenly, what is he talking about? Is he talking about the hole that he's trying to fill anymore, which is still focused on lack and what he doesn't want? No. Now he's talking about opportunity. And you can feel it. I could literally over the phone hear his energy shift. And suddenly he's like, oh, well, this is great. This is what I can do right now, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, okay, so now how do you feel about the guy that cut his, he said, that's fine. That's going to be able to be bonus money eventually. We're not there yet, but that's going to be able to be bonus money eventually. See, that's the difference. It's not that that guy and that issue went away. It's just that he shifted his focus downstream. And when he did, he was filled with excitement. And what do we talk about all the time? The universe doesn't care what you're thinking about. It doesn't respond to what you're thinking about. It responds to your vibration. And what he did in less than 30 seconds was completely shift his vibration. And so that's what I'm asking you to do. Just use it as an opportunity. Anytime you feel badly, use it as an opportunity. What do I want? How can I slightly pull the oar out of the water so that my boat can start to shift downstream? And then look for the evidence. Don't look for the evidence that it's not working. You're way too good at that. Look for the evidence that it is working, because I promise you that evidence is there trying to show itself to you. And if you give yourself that focus of finding it, you will see it, you will discover it, and you will start to live in much more harmony and flow. So that's my call to action today. Leave me a comment, let me know you're in. I can't wait to hear from you. And until the next time, keep going big.